Welcome to Kill Team Casuals, a podcast all about Kill Team, recorded in 3 different time zones with 3 different chaps, one of which is wearing a singlet. Enjoy.
And welcome back, everyone, to Kill Team Casuals. Russ is still waking up. Ben's lost it already. That is done.
Welcome
Russ
back.
is he's like scooping his eyeballs out. I'm sorry.
For some reason, I forgot the camera was on.
Just go to town.
Okay, all right.
All right. Russ is
Some
back.
loose
Russ,
change back there.
yeah, he's gone real Event Horizon, scooping his eyes out. That's
Where we're going, we don't need eyes. I love how he did that, Back to the Future reference in a film. It was so meta. Like, does Dr. Muir know about Back to the Future? Surely that film was released like thousands of years before his birth, but he still referenced it and loved it.
he gets it.
Film buff.
All right, let's try again. Welcome back, Kill Team Casual fans. It's episode 2. It appears we didn't get cancelled by the censors. We're allowed back, and at least enough of, well, we listened to ourselves, so enough people listened to say that we definitely we needed back. So big welcome to Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop.
Welcome
And
to your own
Russ.
podcast.
Russ from GFN is here.
Welcome, Rhys. Welcome,
Thank-
Ben.
And me, Rhys from Threes to Wounds. So episode 2, guys, we're back, and lucky for us, a whole bunch of stuff happened.
Oh my goodness, there's tons to
I
talk
know.
about. Yeah.
I was worried that, we talked about the Kill Team lull last week, so I was a little bit worried that maybe we'd run out of content, and doing this every 2 weeks.
Started this at the wrong time. Yeah.
The death knell, and we're like, what do we talk about? Well, how sad we are and how much we miss good things.
Yeah, episode 1. Let's get everyone real sad.
Lamenting. I thought we'd start today with something, about our channels. Obviously, we've all got our YouTube channels. If you're listening to this, I'm sure you know that. But I just want to know what you guys have got coming up, or what people have got to look forward to on your channels. Russ, do you want to kick us off?
Whew. Well, I've moved a little bit away from the campaign game, so I'm currently running a narrative campaign on my channel. Just because that's kind of what I like to do. I like the kind of narrative play. Not out of choice, I'm just a terrible competitive player, so I have to like narrative. Otherwise, I've got nothing, let's be honest. So I've been running away with the narrative campaign. I've been really enjoying that and going for that. And then, so I had a normal game. So I'm doing just a normal battle report. So that's coming out, I don't know, probably Monday, I guess. I tend to get out. I've got into a good rhythm of getting a weekly video out. He says that, but it might not happen now.
Humble brag, that's fine.
Yeah. Just how about you guys? No, it's no fun. I'm gonna have to slow down that on that. But so I've got a battle coming out, and I'm painting up some Dead Zone terrain. So I've got some Dead Zone stuff. I've been sponging like a madman, unrelated to miniatures. And yeah,
just keep it clean. I like it. That's good.
Just like to sponge. Just like to sponge. Nice. Is that some? I'm going to say it correctly. Vermin.
Yeah.
And not
I believe it's
vermine.
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 Yeah. It's the vermine. Yes.
Vermine.
For those listening with their ear holes and not their eye holes, Ben's showing off one of the beautiful
what am I doing?
models to the camera. But if you listen closely, you can hear it.
Yeah.
It sounds
like a rat.
good. Yeah, it sounds like a rat. Russ? No.
Look, some people will be watching on video, so that's okay. You help 50% of our audience.
Our mothers will be tuning in to watch, make sure they're doing okay.
Just in time for Russ's sponging. So, well,
Yeah.
Hey, Mum.
So that's pretty much me. How about you, Rhys? What you got coming on your channel?
This week we've obviously just I'm sure you've probably seen there'll be a video on Ben's channel wrapping up the Phobos challenge. So for me, part of that challenge was to play a battle with the new Phobos team. So I'll be frantically gluing that game together. I had to play it about halfway through the painting challenge, so the models are at about 70% painted. So I'm ready for the flack. But I thought it was very important. I got a game in with them.
Had you at least drilled the barrels?
Yes, actually, yeah.
You're safe. You're safe.
I think I'm okay.
That's all the internet really cares about.
I just turn all the models around in each of the photos so their backs to the camera, so you can never see the barrels.
It's the safest option.
Yeah. So I've got that coming up, so working on that,
Nice.
and then I'll probably have another couple battle reports over the next few weeks popping up as well. What about yourself, Ben?
Oh man, well, we just wrapped. We might be, if we sound loopy and tired, it's because we just wrapped a way too long video of covering the 50, almost 60 Kill Team Phobos Challenge submissions, and so that'll be the next thing. Actually, that's probably already out. So what's coming from my channel? I have no clue. My brain just melted in the middle. That's as far as I've gotten. No. So we'll have. Someone gifted me. We talked about it in the last thing. Actually, hold on a second. Let me give you a little sneak peek for those watching and those listening. Screw you. But right here, I have some really cool blinky terrain that is just. I mean, look at this. Guys, look at this little panel here.
And if you're listening, you can probably hear the LEDs
you can hear
on
the
this
blinking.
train.
Yeah.
Can I ask you can you show me the on-off switch? How's he hidden that?
It's right here. Can you see it? Can you hear it, viewers?
That is beautiful.
Listeners? Yeah, there you go.
So good.
And so I have a video about that will be coming out in the future, as well as just some more kit bashing, some more hobby stuff. I'm thinking about leaning more into the hobby side of things. And now that I've said that, I'll do something different, I'm sure. But that's the plan right now. These guys plan. I'm just firing from the hip, praying the whole way. That's me. But yeah.
Nothing wrong with a bit of spray and pray. That's fine. It's fine.
Valid tactic. Valid tactic.
Well, the other thing we got that was hugely exciting this week, Kill Team Into the Dark reveal.
Oh my goodness.
Did you guys tune in for the live reveal of it? Was that at an uncomfortable time for you guys?
I completely
never
forgot that it was... it wasn't on Rhys's channel. You know that, right? I'd forgotten when you were like, I'd forgotten like when we were like, oh, we're gonna do a podcast, and you were like, we've got so much to talk about. I was like, damn, we were like, it felt like so much has happened. I'd forgotten that was such a big reveal. I was like, because we just had the corridor. That was the only thing we had last time, and then since that, it's been like Navy, Crute.
Yes,
it's been so much going on.
Crute.
I mean, obviously I didn't watch it live, even though it's like the perfect time zone for me, obviously. So no, I was out having lunch, so I missed it. I was like under the table with my phone, kind of like, yes.
How was the lunch? Was the lunch? Tell us about that. Since that's what was apparently more important.
The lunch was Crute. It was nice. Yeah, it was nice. I was partially present.
Yeah, I just checked Discord and see like, okay, what are people posting screenshots? I think I missed the last two. This I forget what I was doing this past time, but the one before, I think I was at a funeral, and I was like checking my phone in the middle of the funeral. I was like, oh wow, we're getting. It was like, whoa, Chaos Marines and it was Chaos Guard. I was like, oh wow, like in the middle of the funeral, and I'm not joking.
The wrong time to get excited.
And
yes, I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, and so yeah, but I'm pumped though. Those Crute models look awesome, and I think the Navy models are going to make really cool Vostroyan Void Strikes. I have a plan for it. What do you think, Rhys? You hyped for it?
The Crute is really cool because I know that for the Legion, I won't say legions, Legion of fans of Crute, it's been a rough ride because there are dozens of us. They've been at the bottom for a long while and definitely been neglected. So I think it's really, really cool. The models look unreal. Only thing I'd probably say about the Armsmen, again, really cool, but we've kind of already got a lot of human/guard models.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not. I'm not mad at them personally. There's a
You're
lot of
on
other
behalf of everybody else.
Yeah, there's just a lot of the compendium teams that I really think could have had that slot, that we could have seen something. I know there's some teams that I would have loved to have seen get a Zhuge versus the Voidsmen. It's not a team I realized I was missing.
Yeah, no, I get that as well.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, it's an odd choice.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of them now, haven't they? Feels like
Vet compendium.
Compendium,
yeah, and also, but even just the fact that we did just have the trader guard as well, just felt like another.
It's really odd.
Yeah,
really
another human
honestly.
team.
But,
If we took the guard out, who would you have liked to have seen against Kroot? Who would you have guys thought would have been a cool matchup?
Ooh. You know what would have been
Squats,
cool? Oh,
Squats, yes.
Well, I feel like they're going to fill that hole again of being another. I know they're abhuman, but they're kind of a bit like
that is true. You're right.
A bit too imperial. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit too imperial for me. Oh, that is a fancy box. That's massive.
Yeah, it is a big boy. It is.
That's the new
That is
team box.
massive.
So that's Kill Team Dark in there, right?
That's
Jesus.
yeah.
Isn't that what your Dead Zone box came in? Isn't that what you guys?
Is that the Dead Zone box?
Is
They
that,
sent you 10 cases
I'm
of Dead Zone.
immediately complaining about what I got.
you only got that one rat man? Jeez, okay. That's an actual rat man.
Sure, change it. They cooked me up a mutant rat. That's how much I impressed them on the email.
Oh my God.
We got sidetracked again.
Okay. So teams that I would like to have seen instead of the Navy, and I'm not dissing the Navy because I like the Navy. I think they're cool models, and I think they will be cool. Like they'll be an interesting. I quite like the idea that they're a little bit more military, although everyone's military. It's all army. But anyway, I would have liked Gene Stealers, and I would have been cool.
Man.
I would have loved because I still don't know because we haven't seen the Kroot box, but how cool would it be to have a Kroot team that has like an additional sprue with loads of different like evolutions based on what they've been eating? So I like the idea of having a Nid team and a Kroot team, and having the Kroot team be a little bit niddy because they've been fighting a couple of got the claws, and just like if it'd be really cool if they add like a sprue so you can be like, these guys have taken on certain aspects of the things they've been eating.
Right.
That would be cool. But yeah, I would have liked to see
dope.
Gene Stealers. Just although I think it's better as a White Dwarf team, but I would have loved some new Gene Stealer models. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I think it seems like they're waiting for the launch. Man, my guess, and from what I'm hearing, is that they're waiting for the launch of 10th, probably for Nids, because the rumor is Nids and Blood Angels in the as the Indomitus style box, and so
Yeah.
I imagine
cool.
maybe around then we'll see if we do. I imagine
Revenge
that's
for
when-
Ball.
Am I wrong in saying that when they brought out this this ninth edition, that wasn't this meant to be like the last edition of Kill Team?
Yes.
But then the whole time of Warhammer, but now
Warhammer,
everyone the
yeah.
whole time's been talking about. But there'll
10th
be
edition
another
is going to be amazing.
Yeah. And I'm like, is that just people excited like that they just want that, or is that actually what's happening? I don't know.
I felt like they were like, this is going to be the last edition you need. We're going to level the playing field, and everything else will just be add-ons. And then it's absolutely
super
gonna get a new
balanced,
edition.
perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
It's mid.
Like,
We don't talk about that nonsense around here, guys. We talk Kill
Big
Team,
hammer.
Okay.
Boo.
Yeah, get it out of here.
Speaking of obviously the Gene Stealers, we touched on it there. What's the next box then? If we're looking at that's going to be potentially if that's going to be in Big Boy, they're going to put the Gene Stealers Nids in there. What are we expecting in our next one? Because I was big on the Kaskin, the Cadians Special Forces. Is that something we reckon still on the cards? There's so many leaked images now of those guys in there. Is Kill Team the way they launched that? The classic. You can only get it in here to start with, and then we'll launch.
Seems
it
to be a
Big Hammer.
guard trope that they're doing with it, isn't it? All the guard teams are getting little releases. In Kill Team.
Yeah, I think Kasserkin, the bases, between the bases and again just some
Kasserkin,
rumblings. Yes, between the bases
I didn't
and
know how to say
the
either.
rumblings. I took my cues from you guys. I think from the bases and the rumblings that we've been hearing, my money is probably on another guard team on Kasserkin. And whatever. Yeah, I love them. I love Scions. I'll just run them as Scions. And so that's my guess. I don't know if it's a good guess.
It's
Could
surprising surprising too, I think, with, again, the poster boys being the Space Marines. Like, you look at the amount of models they have in Big Boy Warhammer versus Kill Team. It's surprising that in Kill Team, though, they have a much smaller footprint. They're definitely not like the favored sons in Kill Team. But I don't mind that, because it's kind of cool. We get lots of unique and new box sets of different teams that, you don't necessarily, they do transfer across, but you don't see them as much. And I think that's actually really cool about Kill Team, is we get some pretty unique stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, we've had a different, feels like Pathfinders have been almost leading it for a while now, haven't they? Being like one of the top teams. Feels like they've done, which I wouldn't have thought, but they seem to be doing great. And the Harlequins have always done pretty well. The
Harlequins, yeah.
Novitiates too, Novitiates, Vector.
I've never actually played against or with Harlequins. I'm not sure if that's a sin. I'm not sure if this gets me cancelled. Have you guys? Because obviously I only know the dread from other people. I haven't experienced or the joy of crushing your foes with grab belts. I'm not sure.
Harlequins are rough, man. That is a rough matchup. Like, that's a rough matchup a lot of the time.
I've not played against or with them either. So I'm unaware of how good they really are. Apart from that, I see them placing very highly in all the competitions. So I assume they're very good.
Is it one of those teams, do you think, that obviously is that the high mental load, though? Obviously, looking through those rules they had, the Sadath and the dancing and the main player sort of stuff, is that also, I guess, probably a bit of a barrier for a lot of players too, that can seem a lot to pick up and play with? Do you reckon that's why maybe in our local metas we don't see it as much?
Yeah, to some degree, I think so. Yeah, I think it's a team that while there is so many moving parts, it's only 8 models, and so I think it's more overwhelming when you get the book and it's like, oh gosh, when you actually break it down, it really isn't that bad. But I think it is an overwhelming team to look into. I think so.
Yeah. Once you get your first nosebleed reading the rules, I kind of put them to the side then. But I think you're right. I think 8 models isn't actually that overwhelming. Like, that's a fairly manageable team.
Right.
Like, it should be
and
fine.
And 6 of them are the same, basically, and 2 are specialists. It's like, not too bad.
I think the way it's written to those rules, when you read it, it's got lots of... It feels like it's written very wordy. I think you can definitely take it and go, it basically means pick this guy, he does this. Pick this, they need to do this. But when it's like, pick your lead player and they do this, and then they can do, it gets overwhelming when you read it. But once you cut to the fundamentals, it's not as bad.
Yeah. We need a cliff notes of the Harlequin rules, just a précis, just someone just boil it down into da-da-da-da. That'd be nice. I'm sure there's a million videos out there, and I say this quite ignorant to them all.
Somebody should make a video on this.
Someone on that YouTube, that YouTube's, someone should get a video out. Make a little vine.
Harlequins for dummies. The other thing that was big this month as well, there's a preview for the next White Dwarf, and although not a new team, there's lots of Kill Team content in it, which is pretty cool. There's Kill Team Engage, which is going to be like a narrative campaign they're going to be running through White Dwarf with, I guess, because they can't really do that. I guess they used to do the Tale of 4 Warlords. You can't do that with the Kill Team because it would go for 1 month.
That's true. Unless they really boiled down the money you're allowed. But then that would just be 4 months of saving and then just buying a box. And if you're like, still nothing.
I've had to do some weird stuff I'm going to have to do some weird stuff on the street for my Kill Team.
Yeah.
But then you've earned it. I'm excited. Have you guys... Obviously, Russ, you do heaps of narratives. Sorry, my mind's still on the streets.
Yeah. Rhys belongs to the streets. We know it. We knew it the whole time.
Body and soul. Russ, you do a lot of narrative stuff. Ben, have you done much? Are you much of a narrative player? Is it something you've thought about? Basically, Russ, don't talk is what I'm saying. I'm talking to Ben.
I'm glad you said it. I didn't want to have to say it. Yes. I recently, yes, between you guys and some other people on YouTube, like Once Upon a Kill Team, shout out to those guys. Between them and what you guys are doing with your bat reps, I kind of started one with a guy like an hour away from me in Orlando, and so shout out to Matt. So we got a narrative game in, my Death Guard versus his Drukhari, and so I've started doing that. So every time I go there, we'll get a game in and just kind of keep it going. But I'd love to do a campaign where I'm playing against a bunch of people. But I like it, man. I really dig it. And I got to play it at KTO a bunch. And Sheldon did a great job from Kill Team Stream on his narrative tournament. And so I'm a noob. I'm full on noob. But I do really like it.
How do you find keeping the matches going? Because this is the only thing. I'm not a narrative player, but I would like to be. Because I love all that background nerdy lore stuff and also upgrading your characters and adding that layers. How do you go about being consistent with your storytelling? Russ, I'll let you back in here.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm out.
Yeah, Ben, you're out. Russ, you're in.
Tag me in with that singlet, boy. Let's go.
Yeah, you can have it, yeah.
Off the top rope.
Swanton bomb into this. I've forgotten the question.
How do you stay consistent with your narrative games?
Yeah, so how do you get your matches in and remember where you were at and all that stuff?
Oh, it's like I have it's weird because I've just got a document that I keep. So you got to tally up all the. So if they get a kill during any of the games, you tally, because it doesn't matter if they get 1 or 5, it's still like 1 XP. If they do anything towards mission tactic, it's more work. But the thing that because you've got to, there is some reward with that, obviously. So you've got to track everything, and then you've got to note down every time anyone does anything. You're keeping a track of like your overarching spec ops, because they'll get XP for that. And then when they finally get to 5, and I would also recommend adding in, just to speed up the games, Ben, if you're starting, I'd add in an MVP where you can do it randomly, where you pick like two people or 3 people if you've got a big team maybe, and then say these 3 are nominated for MVP, and then roll like a D3 and be like, and he gets it, and just give them 2 XP or something like that, because it just means that you can get those upgrades a bit quicker. Just because otherwise it can take a while if you're not playing regularly before you actually see the benefit of playing narrative, which is to get those cool things. But the most fun I have with the narrative stuff, apart from obviously those little extra stuff going on, is being able to just come up with fun missions. Because that's the thing I find most. I mean, obviously it's not like, sometimes it's is a way to balance worse teams by creating a mission that gives them a slight edge to a worse team, so they can kind of hold their own. And I think that for me is kind of like you can still play narrative without actually using narrative rules. I think if you just create a scenario that follows a story and say like, this is your impetus, this is why you're doing this, you're trying to do that with your team, and then encourage narrative play. So you're thinking, what would this guy do, as opposed to what is the best choice for him to, like, is he going to arbitrarily go over here to claim the objective, or is he going to fire on the guy that's just killed his squad mate and then dart towards him and charge in? So I kind of think it can be just a way you play, where you kind of almost D&D style think, what would my character do, and then try and just kind of like encourage that. So you have like a really cinematic battle, and you're not happy, but you're like, when someone dies, they've like, it's because they died for a reason. They died avenging a fallen brother or something like that. I quite like that aspect of like narrative play as well.
That's really cool. Yeah, I want to try that.
Do you guys find too, obviously you talked about the experience stuff too, obviously escalating those missions, we've seen in your battle reports too, Russ, like building up to boss battles for custom rules and stuff like that. Is that a cool, like, I guess, reward for sticking to it and getting through X amount of games too? I guess gives you something to be more encouraged to come back for the next game.
Oh yeah, I love. I'm gonna throw a shout out there to Travis from the Brooklyn Strategist, because he has been an absolute legend. He's come up with a really interesting boss strategy using cards, so that you can almost include. So basically, you include a deck of cards, and the different cards as you pull them out have different effects on what the boss will do. So you can include a boss battle into a game that has 2 players. So you could have 2 players playing off or multiple players playing off. And if you want to throw in a dreadnought that's just going to mess things up, you can just put a dreadnought in there as part of the mission, and then you can play it almost AI, but not really. But it's directing you what to do in a way. So it's charging the nearest target, trying to get into melee. So I like to do it. I almost think that if you're doing a narrative campaign, you should try and not bookend it, but have get your 3rd game includes a boss. So you've had 2 games and then it's a boss, and then 2 more games and then something else, like a boss battle comes in, or every 5 games if you're playing quite frequently, just so you can kind of put in, because it's not an experience you're going to get in any other type of kill team play. You're not going to get it in match play unless they add something in. So at the moment, it's the home for the homebrewed rule sets that you want to play. It's just go nuts with narrative, is what I say.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I would, if you want to, shoot me that in the old DMs. I'd love to know the card strategy situation there. That sounds dope.
He's done a great job. He's done a bunch of them for his, because he runs narrative campaigns. Travis Brooklyn, the Brooklyn strategist. So he made a whole bunch of rules for his games, and they sound amazing. And some of the outcomes that sound so cinematic when a Calexis assassin just drops out of the stasis pod and starts murder killing everyone. And it sounds cool. It makes for some really cinematic experiences that I really quite like that narrative play can give you.
Yeah, how far into the narrative are you so far with yours, Ben? How many games in are you? How far off a boss battle?
Well, I've done 1 game in my narrative campaign.
Yes,
and that's it.
Is it the firstborn you're playing? Which team did you go? Who were that?
I actually ran Death Guard because I'm actually the opposite of narrative. I'm in the middle of a TTS tournament with the command point guys. And so it's a more casual situation, but I'm playing on Tabletop Simulator, and it's a team thing. So I have some teammates, and we all lost our first match, and so our team completely just biffed it. And
like a team, good.
Good strong team. And so our next match is actually there this week, whenever I can get scheduled. But so that's why I played Death Guard. So I was like, you know what, let me give this a shot. Also, games go quicker when you have an elite team. And I'd rather get more games in than spend 3 hours on a single game of Kill Team. So I'd rather just speed through. So that's why I chose Death Guard. And it's great. It's super fun. Nurgle is so much fun. You have orcs, and I think Nurgle is right below orcs in the fun scale.
Yeah.
And they've had such a big step up. Yeah, I think they've had such a big step up too. That extra model for them makes them so good. I got a friend who I play against regularly. He plays Death Guard, and they were a pain already just because so survivable and disgustingly resilient is always always at clutch times. It keeps them in there. And have an absolute I want to play them just so I can make other people have a bad day. Because
Oh, sorry. No, I was going to say, have any of you guys played as legionaries with Mark of Nurgle? Because I've played against it twice, and it is horrendous. With their normal thing, they can turn a normal... If they ranged attack, they can change a normal to a crit success in shooting. And then if mutagenic flesh just reduces every damage down to by 1 to a maximum of 2. So, it's just horrendous. And that on the anointed after he's gone full demon. So you're doing 1 less damage. If you're shooting at him ranged, he might get, if he gets a normal, he's getting his crit save as well. And then he's got his disgust. It's just horrendous. You just don't kill anyone. Just no one dies.
Yeah, I've been wanting to do that for a long time, but I just haven't had the chance. Because Legionaries, I've yet to really dive in, but I would love to do that. That sounds fun for me and bad for my opponent. So, yeah.
I've played against them a lot, but not as them.
They're one of those teams, depending how you run them and which marks you choose, they can feel like playing a different kill team. That's what I think is really, really cool about them. And we touched on it last time, so I'm kind of excited about potential chapters and things like that for a lot of teams, because getting that theme of I can play this team, but I can run them 5 different ways. And probably the thing you miss a little bit with the list building in kill team sometimes, because there's only X amount of options a lot of the time, but things like the marks of chaos make it a different ball game, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, do you know the one thing that I would like with the marks of chaos is a negative, in D&D, a flaw. Like, I almost feel like, I know it's not great because obviously you want them to be as good as possible, but it would be like you can take Nurgle, but your guys go down a circle movement because they're like some sort of, that'd be quite cool.
The gods are fickle.
To do it. Yeah, that's why that's exactly what I think. I said the gods are fickle. They don't give with both hands. They take something away.
And Admech kind of went through that. The Admech went through that as well with the Hunter Clade went through that as well. Like they had their imperatives, but they obviously was like, you can shoot better, but you fight, you fight worse in close combat, or you can move better, but I can't remember what they all were. And obviously, like people sort of got annoyed at that because like, oh, that was the only one that was like that. But in reality, that probably should have kept that and adjusted the other ones to have some negatives.
100%. That's exactly what I think the Chaos Mark should be. Like there should be something like, I really like that. But then I like the narrative aspect of play, so I can be like, I know it would be rubbish because if you're like, oh Slanesh, if you're within charge range, you have to charge. It'd be like, well, that's rubbish.
It needs to be worse.
Right. To be worse. I'm only saying this because the team beats me every time I play it. Like that's all I'm saying.
Russ's nerfs. The teams I don't like this week. The list is as follows.
Basically, just handing out punishments to teams that are beating me, which is unfortunate because I'm a terrible player, so everyone's getting nerfed.
I love it.
Yeah. Have you guys had a chance yet? Obviously, we talked a little bit earlier, the Phobos challenge. Have you guys had a chance to run a Phobos team? Have you got them on the tabletop yet?
I have not, but I have some. I just have one here. I just knocked one over, and everybody loves it when I show off models like this. They say, "Do it more." I love it. It's real quality.
And if you listen, you can hear how good it looks.
You can.
I can hear the green stuff.
You can hear this.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm gonna fix that up. Anyways, there you go. I haven't run them yet. You've run them, right? Are you?
I was going to say they were a team. Reading the rules, I was like, they sound okay. I don't know, and then ran them and actually played the Legionnaires and absolutely wiped the floor with them. So I was shocked. I was like, these guys, because they were, packing a lot of bolters and being someone who's played predominantly, like my teams, I always play the Wormblade kind of stuff. I usually play a lot more glass cannon type teams, lots of Trixies, lots of bodies, but they don't last very long. So to all of a sudden have power armor, be able to do like bolter discipline, shoot twice, but then all their movement shenanigans and their synergies actually their synergies actually really cool. Being able to put the sniper into like an Overwatch within Overwatch if someone walks through the firing line, they've got some really cool stuff. And so I can't remember what it's.
I'm not surprised he hasn't read the rules because he didn't even build a Phobos team, so I'm not even surprised. What a dirtbag.
I bought the book. Like I went on eBay. I didn't get the kit, but I bought the book so I could learn the rules. I've not looked at them yet though.
I said Admech before and he looked confused then too. So I don't know what game he's playing right now.
He's playing Dead Zone.
That's what I'm playing
Dead Zone the whole time.
Yeah,
but no, I'm a big rap for the team, and after watching a few tier list videos, and again for you casual punter like myself, that doesn't affect my meta or what I'm going to play too much, but still very interesting to see that they are sort of pushing up into that higher tiers, and that they've got tricks, and being only 6 models though, they're an elite team, less models to worry about, so it's easier to remember the tricks. Like it'll be in a battle report, but you'll see I did this insane thing where I started my leader on one side of the board, then he moved to the other side of the board, then he had like a grav thing, so he got it was crazy. I spent about 3 command points. The end result is hilarious. You'll have to watch the battle report. But I was like, just being out of the options that were there, I was like, oh, I can do this. Oh, and that means I can do that. And the synergy was really, really cool. So I'm a big rap on them. I think they're great.
You're selling them. You're really selling them. Yeah. I'm gonna have to have a look.
I think they're going to be one of those teams that, not quite like Vetguard, but in the style of Vetguard, like it was a slow burn. I was like, when Vetguard and Commandos came out, it was like, well, Commandos are obviously better, and now it's like totally swapped. Where Vetguard's at the top of the the list, I don't think they're going to be that good, but I do think that Phobos has like a little bit of a slow burn thing. Like when the right players crack the code, I think people will see, oh, there's more to them than what I first thought. And I'm guilty of that as well. I think I capitalized on everybody's fears about it in a video, and But
You
I think there's
clickbait
something
monster.
cool. Clickbait. Yeah, I made so much money from that video. So much money.
Millions just raking in.
Yeah,
You'll never believe who the Phobos have been caught in bed with now.
That's why I'm filming in a 95-degree garage right now. It's because I made so much money on that video.
It's a singlet. It does it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, was your tabletop simulator team got like a team singlet? Because if you don't, maybe that's why you're not winning.
Wish. I should. I wasn't. Yeah, I need to wear the lucky singlet. Yeah,
need some uniforms up in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, are elite teams back? How high to the top? I mean, because elites haven't ruled the roost since Ecclesiarchy and the Custodes were, teabag in every competition.
I don't think they'll be back on top unless they do an overhaul. Personally,
Really?
Because I'm running Death Guard, which is, our team is the Compendium Casuals, is what we call ourselves. We have Scions, not me, unfortunately. I let my buddy run Scions. I'm running Death Guard, and the other guy is running Talents, right? And so even just with 6 bodies, like, they're tough bodies, but it's still only 6. Like, I played Commandos the other day, and a really good Commando player, by the way, and it was a great match, but it was just like, and there's only so much, I'm sure if I was a better player, if I was like Ace, I'm sure I would have been like, oh yeah, I know what to do, but this idiot doesn't. And so I was just like, man, I don't have the tools I need, or at least that I want or feel comfortable with to play the game. It's just like, I only got 6, and if I leave them out for Overwatch, that means I'm getting shot. And so it's just, I don't think elite teams will ever be on top unless they do an overhaul. That's my opinion.
I think it also has to do with, like the game's got levels, and I always talk about it from the casual perspective.
Kill team is like an onion. That's what
Rhys exactly.
Says. Yeah.
Delicious on everything.
And layers. Interesting.
But, it's like...
An onion cake.
No, I can think it was a delicious onion
the dog
cake.
is back.
That sounds like something a dog would eat. Let's be fair. Onion cake. It's an onion
that sounds
flan.
like that's probably
Enjoy.
like that sounds like the food of your people, Russ. An onion cake. That sounds like
Only
sure.
if it's stuffed in a sheep's stomach.
Baked underground, and then there's and with a generous serving of gravy, obviously.
Oh yeah,
gourmet.
Yeah.
As I was saying,
I'm sorry.
I don't even know what I was saying anymore. I think that's what I was going to say. In the mid tier, like those elite teams can still compete, because I think that's it. Not everyone knows how to use all the tricks of the trade of some of the elite tiers, the novitiates and stuff like that, to overwhelm them. You can still see Custodes can still do really well in a lot of games. Just there's only 4 of them, but they're a real pain in the neck, and they're really hard to kill. So you can still see them doing well. I know we got a mate who plays Custodes, and we boo him regularly. And we absolutely paced him about it. Unnecessarily, some would say, just because we hate how frustrating they are to kill. Because they're just like, they're the jocks of the 40k world, and they just like, splashing our heads in the toilet about my poor little gene stealer cult, and wedging them. It's embarrassing sometimes.
I need
unless you have a lot of AP, it's tough.
Yeah.
That's what I've been finding. That's why I feel like that's why I wasn't too sure about Phobos, because do they have AP? Does the marksman?
Well, they have a bolter with AP.
Veteran.
They have a mine with AP.
The veteran.
You can get P1 on the and so there's like some tricksy ways, but like not enough to take down a custode. Like there seems to be like a recipe, right? That like what makes a good kill team? It's like access to AP,
plasma.
Yeah, probably so good. Like movement shenanigans, like Tau, Vet Guard, like it's like it's kind of like a recipe for like what makes a good kill team, and like access to AP if you want it. Movement shenanigans are a part of that. It's like just stuff that helps you play the game. And so
the ability to chain activates good, or interrupt. Break up the teams. Because a lot of teams have good plans, but they take a little bit of motion. So the ability to break that up, it definitely helps make a lot of teams. Or if you're novitiates, just being able to re-roll everything or use faith points.
Just make whatever you want to happen. It's like, I want to succeed, so I'm going to.
I'm almost out of time today. There's one thing I wanted to touch on before I got to nick off. The other thing in the White Dwarf was the thing they're bringing out, the Kill Zone Register, which is basically putting all the terrain rules in one place. and adding new ones. So basically new ways to make your battlefield, I guess. We joked about this last week about forgetting about smog things and activations and all that. So it's ways to make the battlefield, I think, more interactive. So you kind of go like, oh, we're playing on, like a manufactorum kind of battlefield. So we'll add smokestacks and something else, like a generator objective or something. What is that something you? I personally, I don't know if I care that much. I wasn't.
Who asked for this? That's what
No.
I want to know.
Yeah.
Who in the bloody heck asked for this? That's what
Russ
I want
is
to know.
very quiet on this one. That's all I'm saying.
Oh
It
no,
was him.
I
It
am
was the rat.
100% with
The rat
Ben.
asked for
I am,
this.
no. I am 100%. I do not need terrain rules. I like it just seems unnecessary to complicate the game board. Although I mean I love the idea when you're thinking of it like Solid Snake style, disable the generator, but then like that someone else has disabled that generator. You're not confused about why the generator's gone dark. So it's sort of like I don't know. It just seems like it complicates it a little bit too much. I think that could like either that or just gets forgotten. I find most of the time that like heavy, light,
100%.
and vantage points are kind of enough, and anything more than that, it just sort of like, oh, I forgot about that. You put smoke on, didn't you? Right.
Yes, you've got to go back or it's too late.
Yeah. That being said, like an absolute like, I mean, maybe Ben's people could get on this, but like an absolute like magnetized board with like you clip in some cotton wool and be like, now the smoke's on, boom, done. Or you like any kind of getting the okay for Ben's team.
I just put you on speaker, Russ. Keep talking.
Yeah. So I think that would be cool. So if you could literally show everything that's happening with a terrain setup, but it's such an investment and it's stuff they keep changing and keep adding to. So it's sort of like I've already made a vantage point. Now we've got punishing vantage points, and it's just, I don't know. I do think it's a little bit much, but then it's depth and you don't have to use the rules. So why am I complaining about optional rules?
I would just probably maybe rather than put that brains trust that did that or compiled it into one spot. For me, I've been again talking.
Just fire them all.
Yeah, talking. No. Give them something else to do. Talking dirty about Big Daddy 4K. But I've been playing a bit of the Tempest of War, and I'd love to see maybe something like that in Kill Team with like fluid objectives. Like to me, that would be a bit more of a interesting thing. It's like drawing cards, and that might give you. There's the game effect, there's your terrain setup, and then there's the, like nearly rotating tac ops, so as opposed to each turn, you've got different potential tac ops to score. Nice. I'd rather the terrain team shift across to that.
And I think that would be more interesting, like a different rules, like different mission pack, as opposed to just more terrain. That would be cool, like another. Like you say, another way to play the game. So you've got Maelstrom of War, or like whatever the Tempest of War thing is, Tempest, like that equivalent to just be like, okay, you've got match play, open play, and narrative play. We're going to develop open play a little bit because it's a bit nothing. So here's some rules. Because
it makes you feel like having played the Tempest of War, like it gives that that feeling of the randomness of battle. That just when you think you're in control or you know what your objectives are, they change and they shift. And as you said, when someone disables the generator and you're playing the game, well, you all know where the generator is. It's not a surprise. You don't have to react to it. You're already ready for that to happen. So it'd be cool to make it that there is some form of reaction in the game where you have to go, oh, that's my plans out the window. I got to adapt. And I think that's a really cool part of wargaming is the best laid plans always go out the window.
I like that. I think I might try and do that for narrative play. I really like the idea that you've got maybe like a deck of like cards. I'm assuming it's cards. I've not played Tempest of War, but it's like you turn them over and you go, that was the objective. Something's happened, so now this is your objective. So you've got one turn. Is it basically you've got one turn or however many turns to score that objective before it changes entirely?
Yeah, you get like 3 cards and they'll each have a different objective, and you can, in that, so you can spend a command point if you think that's definitely not achievable, get rid of it. And at the end of the turn, you're like, geez, I was pretty close that I missed it this turn. I might keep it because I could get it next turn. And that one again, I finished the turn, I missed that one, I'm going to discard it. And then you start the next turn and you go back up to 3 cards. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, so you can still keep the ones you do like, and you might adjust, some of them like kill tally. So it might be like, kill team might be like, kill two or 3 units. You're like, geez, I only missed that by 1, but if I hold on to next turn, I get that 3rd unit. This is worth. So yeah, I think there's some real potential play.
I like that idea. Yeah.
I dig that a lot. Yeah.
If you
Something
could get
seems more
Rhys,
useful, you know.
get in touch with Ben's people, and
Oh yes, sorry.
they'll
let
get
me
in touch
just-
with G-Dubs, and they'll.
Yep. Now put them
Yeah.
on speaker to Ben's people.
Oh yeah.
There we.
I love
All right,
that. Just
guys, I got to
useful
wrap
stuff.
it up here today. Unfortunately, a little bit of a time squeeze. Some of us have jobs to go to. It's literally 8:59 here in the morning. So 1 minute to work starts. Thank you so much for joining us, to all our listeners and our viewers out there. It's been awesome. And we'll spend a little bit more time. I still think we've got a lot to talk about. We've got more ideas. So we'll get another episode firing. Hopefully there's some new things we learn a bit more about some of this new stuff as well over the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Sounds
man.
good to me.
Can't wait for the news. Yeah, there seems to be more stuff coming in. Yeah, every second.
Thick and fast. I love it. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
Good night, mate.